Sophomore from Kansas. He was a three-time Kansas State champion. Coleman Scott has always been talking about his skill set and the possibility of being a cornerstone for this program over the next couple of years. Well, he has made that leap today in Pittsburgh. Big win for the Tar Heels. 184. You have the top two ranked wrestlers in all of college wrestling. Hunter Bolen, number 1. Trent Hidley, NC State, number 2. These two competitors side by side on the mats. Bolen matched up with Battista. Hidley with Nino Bonacorsi, who rock, incidentally enough, handed Bolen a setback in the last duel of the year.
This tournament is not just important to them just from an accomplishment, but if Bolen wins this tournament, he most likely will be the number 1 seed at the NCAA tournament. But also, if Hidley wins, you could certainly make the argument that he would be the number 1 seed. Now, Taylor Luan from UNI will have an argument there because he beat Bolen earlier in the year, but he also lost to Bolen early in the year.
Hunter Bolen looking for his first ACC title. He took third 2 years ago, redshirted a season ago for Coach Roby and the Hokies. Sophomore out of Floyd, Virginia. Local product, Christiansburg High School, which has really been a catalyst for a lot of the Virginia Tech wrestlers. Solid program.
Devin Carter, Joey Dance, Hunter Bolen. The list goes on.
The Epperly brothers.
Zach Epperly.
Zach and Matt. That has been a steady pipeline for the Hokies. And what a great setup right there, close to Blacksburg. You get your bird's eye view of all the competition. And Bolen, part of that long list of names. They've had a lot of success. Quick 2-0 lead on Battista. And Bolen's going to get the count. So he is wasting no time creating some separation for Michael Battista of Virginia.
Bolen is doing a good job of isolating one side of the body. He has a near wrist series. And what he does as a good wrestler, he goes to the other side. So he's keeping his motion to keep the official off of his back to avoid any situations of stalls. Now, he's got to be careful with that hammer lock on the back. He can't come off his back. He can't come off.
And there it does. So potentially dangerous, the official right in. Has to keep that arm touching the back. Once you get that air and that separation, that's when the whistle comes in. When you look at the body of work from Hunter Bolen this year and what he's been able to do, what stands out the most? What has allowed him, I think, to catch a lot of the country by surprise and leapfrog to that number 1 spot?
Well, you know, he had a good season last year in his redshirt season, and he showed up at the Southern Scuffle and performed very well. But what he's done, he's worked. I mean, there's no other way around it, is that you can have all the accolades in the world, but until you show up and do it every single week, then that's when you get the respect. And he certainly earned the respect of not just the ACC, but of the NCAA.
North Carolina State with the narrow lead. Pitt in the number 2 spot. North Carolina third. Seems like the Panthers and the Tar Heels keep going back and forth. Everybody chasing the regular season title holder at NC State. Good start for Hunter Bolen.
Absolutely.
Commanding 6-0 lead for the sophomore.
Not just that, he's got over 2 minutes of riding time.
I mean, you look at what he is going against every day in the wrestling room. Yes, Mekhi Lewis is bumped up, and he scraps with him each and every day in Blacksburg. Jared Haught, Ty Walls, both former Hokies. Haught was a national finalist a couple of years ago, so he's seeing some top talent each and every day in the upper weights for Virginia Tech.
And when you recruit, you want to be able to say that. Well, who are your workout partners? You have a multiple-time All-American. You have a national champion. You have Olympians as coaches. Man, Hunter Bolen's really going at it.
Bolen continues to punish Battista. 2 more. So as Bolen increases his lead, a good one with Hidley and Bonacorsi. Hidley has just secured a takedown, so he leads 2-1. This match has had a few firecrackers from both corners. Papalizio, I saw out of the corner of my eye, he was up in arms early. So the emotions just continue to get higher and higher as we go deeper into the day.
That's where it is. These coaches and the fans, they want to bring more and more people to the NCAAs.
Good look at the redshirt freshman, Trent Hidley. And like his older brother, Hayden, he entered with a lot of expectations. He had a bullseye on his back, and not too many freshmen can respond the way he has this year. He had the narrow duel loss to Hunter Bolen. That was a low-scoring bout. And that's what Pat Papalizio told us. Even though he's emerged as one of the leaders, they want him to start taking more shots, finding more offense, really trusting in what he does as you get to this pinnacle of the season, wrestling against some of the caliber guys that he'll be matched up against.
And you can see Hayden on the side intently watching his brother compete.
Riding time not a factor as we go to the third. Keith Gavin from the pit corner, feeling maybe a little momentum on that pit side after picking up a couple of wins in the semifinal round. Bonacorsi, speaking of momentum, with that last victory against Bolen to close out the regular season, he came into these championships very confident.
All righty. We're 2-2.
And once again, riding time is not a factor, so this is a square deal. Tied at 2, third period.
We have a top 5 match going on mat 2.
Bonacorsi trying to get back into the ACC finals for the second straight year. He was a runner-up a year ago. Won a couple of matches at the NCAAs. Matched up against one of the top freshmen in all of the NCAA wrestling landscape, Trent Hidley.
Look at these guys. They're moving their feet. They're not stationary. They're moving their feet. They're staying light. That's what you're supposed to do as a wrestler. Not stand there. Move your feet. Look at this. These are 2 potential All-Americans going at it in the semifinals of the ACC Championship.
Bonacorsi from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Hidley from Lewiston, Pennsylvania. Locked at 2. 40 seconds to go. Bolen of Virginia Tech picks up a bonus point for the Hokies, a 13-0 major decision.